Nearly 2 weeks after Hurricane Ian made landfall, Floridians are still struggling and trying to deal with the high water and the enormous task of cleaning up. Across the state, more than 25,000 people are still without power. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has more on how residents are coping.
The water has receded in Orla Vista, Florida, and this weekend a wave of volunteers surged in. They came to help residents sort through their waterlogged possessions and begin the process of putting their lives back together.
The hurricane came and destroyed it. This one was one of the worst.
Diane Scott's home is now filled with mold. Crews helped her pick through the debris Ian left behind and salvage what she can. Many residents are still searching for a new place to live.
We're just here trying to provide some assistance to them because we know they've been devastated.
Thousands of people across Florida are still without power, and in some places floodwaters are still swamping homes. On Friday, Governor Ron DeSantis said it's worse in inland areas where 20 inches of rainfall had nowhere to go.
All this stuff is very high right now, so you got a lot of water that's still standing there. So this is an ongoing thing, and the impacts of this have been very, very broad.
It's overwhelming on a level I can't explain.
As cleanup from Ian continues, experts are concerned about the storm's effects on mental health, too. Research shows PTSD, depression, and substance abuse often rise after a disaster strikes. The state is opening support centers, and the federal government has set up a distress helpline. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Today we have the very latest on gangs infiltrating the Turks and Caicos Islands. Our Deandra Hamilton has more. Take a look.
The Turks and Caicos Islands is dealing with an upsurge in a murderous rampage that has been making headlines regionally and internationally. Due to the upsurge, the country has brought police officers from the United Kingdom and also within days will be welcoming reinforcement from the Bahamas to help with the grave situation. This upsurge in murders is because Jamaican gangs have infiltrated the country after 2 gang leaders based in the TCI are believed to have been taken out earlier this year.
2 local gangs lost their leadership. One extremely violent local gang leader was shot dead by police while resisting arrest. The other, a Haitian gang leader, who the police had made 4 separate attempts to arrest in the shanty areas of Romy Yard, was killed by one of his own gang before he could be arrested. The vacuum and confusion this created, allowing a predominantly Jamaican gang with a relatively small footprint here to reinforce from Jamaica.
Among those killed are not just those suspected to be part of the gangs and criminal activity, but innocent individuals, including an American tourist now identified as Kent Carter from Virginia. On Sunday, this police vehicle was shot over 20 times during the incident that led to Carter's death. Major General Anthony Anderson out of Jamaica said they are already in discussions with the TCI regarding the matter.
I have been speaking with the Commissioner of Police in Turks and Caicos. We've been having those discussions, and I know there are some other discussions taking place. We already are working from an intelligence perspective together on this.
In the last 5 weeks, 15 people have been murdered in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Deandra Hamilton reporting.
It's the 2nd annual Festival of Chamber Music of the International Chamber Orchestra of Puerto Rico, with a concert series in different parts of the island. Francis Felix interviewed the artistic director about the importance of this festival that brings a fresh air to the locals after the latest events that have impacted the country. Take a look.
Teatro Tapia is back to life again with the International Chamber Orchestra concert series free for the people after the Puerto Ricans going through the pandemic and recently Hurricane Fiona.
Well, this is our 2nd festival of the International Chamber Orchestra of Puerto Rico, specifically for chamber music. And it's a more intimate type of music making, and I thought this is the perfect time to make it so that we're even closer together with our people, just sharing music. It has been an amazing experience. We have been to Ponce, Quebradillas, San Juan, and Mayagüez, and the atmosphere has been vibrant because you can sense how much desire there was for something to happen, especially since we're only 2 weeks removed from the hurricane. When we arrived in Ponce, there were so many spots that still has no electricity whatsoever. So I almost felt like when we were together, it was like just taking a breath of fresh air through the energy that music provides. I believe that music is the language of universality, but it shares peace and hope. And you can see it in the eyes of people, the joy that it brought. It just meant so much to all of us as we worked so hard to create this concert, to see how much more people are wanting to have concerts for the people. This series of concerts that just took place recently after the hurricane battered the southwest of Puerto Rico showcase how music can really help bring a glimmer of hope amongst so much devastation. The next event will be in February of 2023. We come back with the full orchestra and we'll do the 2.5 weeks starting in Culebra. 50 musicians from around the world sharing music, sharing passion, sharing education for all of us in Puerto Rico.
From historic Teatro Tapia in Old San Juan, Frances Felix reporting.
Now, the very latest with COVID-19, Guyanese who test positive for COVID-19 for the first time will soon have access to the Paxlovid pill to treat that disease. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony said the government has been working with the United States and the UNICEF to secure the medication. The oral antiviral produced by Pfizer was approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration in December of 2021. The average cost for one course of Paxlovid treatment is $530 in the United States, but the health minister said that Guyanese people will get a discount for it.
We have been working with UNICEF to be able to procure Paxlovid. So that's something that is still on the cards. And with Paxlovid, if people test positive for COVID-19, we'll be able to treat them. And this is oral treatment. You drink the tablets for 5 days, and you should be well after taking the complete treatment. Paxlovid has been very difficult to source, and it's a very costly medication. But through this initiative with UNICEF globally, we are going to get it at a very discounted price, and we have made an order for these medications. Well, I'm hoping that we can get it maybe within a month, so that persons would be able to get the benefit of Paxlovid.
In other news, today is Virgin Islands Puerto Rican Friendship Day. The public holiday celebrates the close relationship between the Virgin Islands with Puerto Rico and the importance of Puerto Ricans and their cultural contributions to the USVI. The day has been around for nearly 6 decades, since 1964. VINPR's Friendship Day is declared each year on the second Monday of October and coordinates with Hispanic Heritage Month.